A woman goes to a fortune teller. As they sat there in the candlelit tent, the mystic waved her hands around the crystal ball, divining the woman's future. Suddenly the soothsayer's hands went to her face, and a gasp of horror escaped her mouth. "I don't know how to tell you this, so I'll be blunt," the fortune teller says. "You need to prepare yourself to become a widow. Your husband will be murdered in a manner most gruesome before the year is done." The woman was petrified, unable to process the information that's been given to her. Her hands began to shake, and her throat felt like a desert as she barely managed to croak out the question on her mind. "Will I be acquitted?" A 75-year-old man walked into a crowded doctor's waiting room and approached the desk. The receptionist said, "Yes, sir, what are you seeing the doctor for today?" "There's something wrong with my d," he replied. The receptionist became irritated and said, "You shouldn't come into a crowded waiting room and say things like that." "Why not? You asked me what was wrong and I told you," he said. The receptionist replied, "Now you have caused some needless embarrassment in this room full of people. You should have said there is something wrong with your ear or something and discussed the problem further with the doctor in private." The man replied, "You should not ask people questions in a room full of strangers if the answer could embarrass anyone." The man then decided to walk out, waited several minutes, and then re-entered. The receptionist smiled smugly and asked, "Yes?" "There's something wrong with my ear," he stated loudly. The receptionist nodded approvingly and smiled, knowing he had taken her advice. "What is wrong with your ear, sir?" "I can't piss out of it," he replied. Guy: "Doctor, my girlfriend is pregnant, but we always use protection, and the rubber never broke. How is it possible?" Doctor: "Let me tell you a story. There was once a hunter who always carried a gun wherever he went. One day he took out his umbrella instead of his gun and went out. A lion suddenly jumped in front of him. In order to scare the lion, the hunter used the umbrella like a gun and shot the lion. Then it died. Guy saw. Nonsense. Someone else must have shot the lion. Doctor saw. Good. You understood the story. Next patient, please. A monkey is smoking a joint on a tree when a lizard walks past. The lizard looks up and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" The monkey says, "Smoking a joint. Come up and join me." So the lizard climbs up and sits next to the monkey, and they have another joint. After a while, the lizard says his mouth is dry and that he's going to get a drink from the river. At the riverbank, the lizard is so stoned that he leans over too far and falls in. A crocodile sees this and swims over to the stoned lizard, helping him to the side. He then asks the lizard, "What's the matter with you?" The lizard explains that he was up in the tree, smoking a joint with the monkey, and his mouth got dry, and that he was so wasted that when he went to get a drink from the river, he fell in. The inquisitive crocodile says he has to check this out. He walks into the jungle and finds the tree where the monkey is sitting, finishing a joint. He looks up and says, "Hey, monkey!" The monkey looks down and says, "OMG, Dad! How much water did you drink?" A man from the city shows up to a quiet suburban house to fix the gas pipes as scheduled. He knocks on the door. From inside, a voice calls out, "Who is it?" Surprised, the man replies, "It's the man from the gas company, here to fix your pipes." Silence. He knocks again. "Who is it?" comes the voice. Getting a bit irritated, he says, "It's the gas man. I'm here to fix your pipes." Still no response. He knocks harder. "Who is it?" the voice repeats. Now annoyed, he shouts, "It's the man from the gas company, here to fix your pipes." No answer. One final knock. "Who is it?" the voice says again. The man, now red-faced and furious, yells at the top of his lungs, "It's the man from the gas company, here to fix your pipes." In a fit of rage and stress, he suddenly clutches his chest, collapses on the front steps, and dies of a heart attack. A while later, the homeowners return. They're horrified to find a man lying motionless on their porch. The wife gasps and asks, "Oh my God, who is it?" From inside the house, the parrot calmly replies, "It's the man from the gas company, here to fix your pipes." Ms. Brooks was testing the class with some tricky riddles. She smiled and said, "I come in many sizes. When I'm not well, I drip. When you blow me, you feel good. What am I?" The class fell silent, students glancing at each other, unsure. The principal, observing from the back, shifted nervously in his chair. Little Johnny, without hesitation, raised his hand and confidently answered, "Nose!" After a very bumpy landing, the pilot came on the speaker and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the hard landing. Honestly, blame the runway, not me." Per company policy, he stood at the door to greet passengers as they left, repeating, "Thanks for flying with us, and sorry again for the landing." One elderly lady with a cane slowly approached him, leaned in, and said, "Son, I didn't hear the announcement. Did we land, or did we get shot down?" On another flight, delayed for 2 hours, a curious passenger asked, "Excuse me, why did we leave so late?" The flight attendant smiled and replied, "Well, the pilot noticed strange sounds coming from one engine, and it took us some time to find a pilot brave enough to fly anyway." Later that night, another sweet older woman kept looking out the window. It was pitch dark, and all she could see was the blinking wing light. After a while, she pressed the call button and whispered to the crew, "I think you should let the captain know. His left turn signal's been blinking for 20 minutes. A highway patrol officer had a favorite secret spot, just around a curve, perfect for catching speeders with his radar gun. Hidden from view, he used it every year on busy weekends like Labor Day. So, early that Saturday, he set up shop, radar ready, coffee in hand. But something strange happened. No one was speeding. In fact, every car passed him going exactly the speed limit. Some drivers even smiled and waved as they went by. Weird, he thought. No way they can see me from the road. Curious, he got out of his car and walked a bit up the highway. About 100 yards away, he found the reason. A kid was standing by the road holding a giant hand-painted sign that read, "Speed trap ahead." The officer couldn't help but laugh. Then he walked a little further and spotted a second kid about 100 yards past the trap. This one had a sign too. It simply said, "Tips," with a bucket full of coins at his feet. A man sat on the edge of the bed watching his wife admire herself in the mirror. Her birthday was just around the corner, so he asked gently, "What would you like this year, honey?" Without missing a beat, she said, "I wish I was 8 again." The next morning, he sprang into action. He made her a giant bowl of chocolate cereal, just like kids eat. Then he whisked her off to the wildest amusement park in town. Every ride? She rode it, twice. The Loop of Doom, the Gut Twister, the Mega Scream, all of them. After 5 hours of whiplash and motion sickness, he treated her to McDonald's. Happy Meal, chocolate shake, the works. Still not done, he surprised her with movie tickets to the loudest superhero blockbuster in theaters. Popcorn, soda, M&Ms, everything a sugar-crazed 8-year-old could want. By the end of the day, she could barely walk. She flopped onto the bed like a jellyfish in heels. With a proud smile, he leaned in and said, "So, did you enjoy being 8 again?" She opened one eye, groaned, and muttered, "I meant my dress size, you goofball."